How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, guys, I just want to do a little bit of an update. As you guys know, on the Thursday, the 26th of April, upcoming very soon, in 4 days from now. Actually, it's going to be like 3 days soon, you know what I mean? Yeah, because it's kind of late now for me. But either way, so on the 26th, guys, we're going to get the fiscal year earnings release from bloody Nintendo. And why is this important? Well, basically, this is going to give us a bit of a rundown on when Pokémon Switch is going to be released. Is it 2018 or 2019? Now, what's really good about this is, if it's 2018, we should be expecting a reveal before E3. Now, why do I say this? I mean, either before E3 or shortly after E3. And the reason I say this is because, see, Game Freak works in the sense that they've never actually revealed any of their games during E3. Never done that. They've never done that specifically. They always reveal the titles of their games, reveal the actual names of the games during their own kind of little separate thing, right? Whether it be the Pokemon Direct or the Nintendo Direct, they always do it separate. The reason for that is so they won't be overshadowed by other, franchises and games and stuff. That's because, they want to make sure that they are the top dog at all times. So that's why they specifically wouldn't, want to put their actual official release during E3. So I want to tell you that right now. Pokemon will most likely not be revealed during E3. I know a lot of us were speculating that, but now that I looked over things, it doesn't seem that would happen. Spawnwave did a really good video explaining that as well. Essentially saying that usually their games are, or the titles of the games are usually always revealed, ahead of time, before E3, in kind of their own time frame. So that's a very important thing I want to kind of get out there so you guys can kind of have that in your mind and keep that, keep that there so you guys can, remember it. But, what's really good about this is that if we get a 2018 on there, that means the game is coming this year and we'll get a reveal very soon. AKA April, super late April, or like, actually no, it wouldn't even be April then. It would be like, if it doesn't get revealed this upcoming week, then it's most likely happening in May. Which would make a lot of sense. Even in July, the reveal could happen, just ahead of time of E3. They could still reveal it and then show us gameplay during E3, because that's very likely to happen. If they do reveal it ahead of time before E3, they will then obviously show gameplay during E3, which is very much likely. Now, you may be asking, what are you even talking about here? What does this have to do with anything? Well, basically, Nintendo's earnings usually show kind of these, temporary, they show the temporary titles here and stuff, and which games are coming up, and usually also the year they're going to be released. So if you look at the screen right here, you have games from last year, like Ultra Sun and Moon. This is, by the way, this is the old fiscal report that they had, or like their little like earnings report or whatever. This is the old one. Now, keep in mind, if you look in this list, you will notice a few things. If you go on the right side and you look down, you will see Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch, Kirby for Nintendo Switch, Yoshi for Nintendo Switch, and then Pokémon RPG for Nintendo Switch. Now, what's really important is all the three other ones that I mentioned, Fire Emblem, Kirby, Yoshi, are all set to 2018, which means they will come out this year. I think Kirby's already out, by the way, but they're all set to 2018. But not Pokemon. The Pokemon RPG for Nintendo Switch is set to 2018 or later. Now, why is this important? Well, see, during the investors meeting, they have to give them an actual date. They can't say 2018 or later unless they're so uncertain about it. Like, this would be like them really not knowing, like jack all about them actually being able to release it. Like, it would be very minuscule chance that it would say 2018 or later still. If it says that, then we know Game Freak is currently in a lot of trouble in terms of like figuring out where they are in terms of development. But 2018 or later will be updated to either 2018 or 2019. It could be anything from like fall 2018 or fall 2019 to winter 2019 to holiday 2019 or holiday 2018. It could say anything, right? Because I mean, look at Fire Emblem. That only says 2018 right now. It doesn't say, holiday or anything like that, or fall or whatnot. So same thing will happen with Pokemon here. We'll get a bit of an update. Maybe it'll just say 2018, and then maybe, we can just speculate if it's going to be November, October, December, etc. But my point still stands. We are waiting for this on the 26th. This is very important because we're going to get our actual info. And the reason why this has to update is because the investors need to know about this, because it just puts doubt in their, in their pockets when they don't know the release date of a very big franchise. By the way, Pokemon is like, in terms of like the biggest franchises for like specifically Nintendo, Pokemon is like second or third in terms of size there, because I think Mario is the best seller for them. But we got that Pokemon coming very close there, like biting Mario in the buttocks. So what I mean, like in general terms, very close to each other. And I want to mention this again because this is closing up, guys. This is coming very soon. And why is this important? Well, because the Pokemon Switch announcement was actually made almost a year ago now. It's been almost a year since this was freaking announced. You know what I mean? Like, we had Ishihara here announcing that the Pokemon game may be released, you know, may not come out for a year or, you know, more. So what he meant by a year or more is that it could come out with, you know, like actual release, you know what I mean? Not like, oh, the reveal. Rather, the actual release may not be for a year or more. Well, see, it's going to be a year July this year, right? It's going to be a year since they made this. Since they actually, the 13th of June, it's going to be, not July, sorry. So 13th of June, it's going to be exactly a year since they announced this, which means that the game could possibly come out during late 2018, because that will be a year and a half almost, and it could come out early 2019 to be exactly a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like, it could happen whenever, but I think still that 2018 is the most likely, you know, release date, because it'll be enough time for them to kind of get it done, because we know that they've been most likely working on this game for more than, you know, 2-3 years at this point, because, like, we've seen so many things and so many, like, you know, people talking about Pokemon in, like, before the Nintendo Switch even came out. There have been talks about, like, them working on something, you know, with this new upcoming Nintendo console, and people have mentioned, like, you know, people were mentioning the Nintendo console and how it's going to be like a, you know, something on both handheld and, you know, also on your on the TV and stuff. So they most likely been working on this for a longer time. I mean, here's an example, right, guys? You know, when Black and White came out, guys, like, Black and White came out in 2010. They were actually making X and Y from 2010 to 2013. They were working on X and Y, but guess what? Black and White came out in 2010, right? I mean, 2010, 2011, whatever. And then you also had, you know, in 2012, you had Black and White 2, right? So during the time they were making X and Y, they were also making Black and White 2, and they were also, you know, during that time, getting started on X and Y and getting that ready. So in all honesty, they could have been working on this Switch game since anywhere between 2015. You know, 2015, 2016, somewhere around that time, they must have started development. Even 2014 is possible. Think about it for a second. That could even work, in a sense, because we know that they've been splitting their teams up into two, so it's a big possibility that this game has been worked on for a long time, and they've had ideas and things they've been working on for a long time. But then again, they are working with, like, new hardware and stuff, so who knows? But we do know that they most likely had, I mean, they work close with Nintendo, so when something happens to Nintendo, it affects Pokemon as well. So of course, when they were making a new console, specifically a new console is going to be both handheld and also on a, you know, home console, they must have been, you know, like, in talks and must have received some sort of tech demos of the Nintendo Switch to try out, because, you know, I mean, it would make sense, right, to give it to one of your biggest, like, you know, partially owned franchises. So in general terms, I would assume that they've most likely had their hands, you know, in the freaking pot, and been working around with the Nintendo Switch game since 2015, 2016, which would give them enough time to get it done for a late 2018 release, by the way. So it would make sense, in my honest opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It could also be that they literally started developing this game, like last year, but that wouldn't make sense either, because think about it, every Pokemon game, and this is something that they said themselves, every Pokemon main series, like New Generation, usually takes about 3 years to develop. Now, there is the possibility that this upcoming game is not going to be a New Generation, something like a Kanto reboot or something like that, which then would make sense for a shorter development time. But we do know that this game is going to release either this year or early 2019. They cannot release it late 2019. One, they don't have enough, like, they don't have enough, like, promotional stuff to keep them going for the rest of, like, you know, for the long time during 2019. So they would have to have it early 2019 or, again, late 2018, which makes the most sense to me and to, you know, some people. I know other people are 2019, like, happy and want that. Either way, I've stuck too much on this. I just wanted to talk about this a lot because I've been really having, like, some heated debates with some people about, like, when the release date would be, if it's 2018, 2019. But guess what? We'll know. We'll most likely, I mean, I'm a 99% sure that we'll know once we see this, you know, fiscal year, like, update, you know, year's earning release, so to say, from Nintendo. Now, the next thing I want to post to you guys is actually something that was sent to me, which I want to just quickly debunk, and that is this right here. So, this is something that I found really funny, right? So this was sent to me by Corey, and now he's deleted it actually, but I still have it right here, and I'll still be able to show it to you guys. See, it's actually, he literally deleted it, but I still have it right here, and he sent it to me, and now I'm going to tell you what exactly it says right here, so you can actually read it. It says, my friend Subaru Hokama, who works for Nintendo, just sent me this picture. He said that the Game Freak team had been working on a simple test map on a painting program. Wonder what country it resembles, though. Now, this simply resembles Portugal and Spain. I mean, you can see on the left side there, you have, I mean, up here, right here, you have Portugal, and then you have, on the other side there, you have Spain. It looks like a peninsula, and at the bottom right there, right about there, you can see that's supposed to be Morocco or whatever. I can't remember which country's down there, I'm sorry. I can barely remember, but my point is, like, looking at this just looks like Spain. I had a friend actually do the translation for the bottom here, but there is a little bit of a thing I want to mention about this specifically that's very interesting. So he did a translation of the Japanese, and he said, I got the first one translated. It's a test for a functional design, the application of something, but it doesn't say what it is, and it shows something called Ken's video, and the second one is just a test checking level, aka possibly the region, and it states all applications HA, but I don't know what HA is. So hey, that doesn't tell me much, but there's one thing that tells me a lot, and that is, like, one, first of all, to begin with, just to debunk this, right? I'm not telling you this is actual, this is not confirmed whatsoever. I want to debunk this. One, that right up there, it says Switch game and then in Japanese. Why would you, I mean, he said that he changed that on his own. He did that on his own, switching, you know, the, what's the easy way to explain this? He switched the title of it and had a Switch game himself. So originally, it did just say in Japanese, that Japanese text, which, fair enough, I'll give you that one. But there's something interesting about this image. See, up in the top right corner right there, see, this is the thing, when you have somebody like me who lives in Sweden, you know, you should make sure that you don't show me anything on the screen here that would kind of give off your own position. And that is right up in the top here, right up there. If you look at the top right there, I don't know if you guys can zoom in enough, but it says REDIGERA, which means edit or redigera in Swedish, and SKAP, and just add an A at the end there, and it's skapa, redigera och skapa. This is actually being viewed in on a Swedish PC. I know that because it says edit and create in Swedish. It says redigera och skapa. That is Swedish. So this is bullshit. You know why it's bullshit? Because here's the reason. Corey tweeted at me, and now you most likely won't be able to see it here. But Corey tweeted at me. Now, he's literally deleted it. But, actually, no, I don't think, I mean, has he? No, they're actually still here. I think he deleted it, but no, it's actually still here. See, it's very interesting because, Corey said here, okay, don't know Swedish myself. Thanks for telling me, though. See, if you don't know Swedish, how do you have I mean, do you live in Sweden, Corey? I mean, I'm not trying to, like, you know, put you, you know, out there and, you know, make you look bad or whatever, but, like, that's why I'm a bit curious. If you don't know Swedish, then how do you use a Swedish computer? Because, I mean, maybe it's just a thing. I could be just wrong here, but it says edit and create up top there, and I don't know, that's just very sketchy to me. So I don't know. I know he also specifically received, like, I mean, you know, the actual, like, Swedish magazine that he had. That's a Swedish magazine, so he must have received that in Sweden. So I'm assuming Corey lives in Sweden, but he doesn't speak Swedish, which is, I mean, that's fair enough then, I guess. I don't know what to say about that, but and also the fact that you say you have a friend who works for Nintendo, I can't find that to, you know, be real. I think it's too unlikely. There has been rumors about a Spanish region coming out, but I don't know. It's very much unlikely. I just want to share this with you guys just to kind of debunk it, because I find it very unlikely to be real. I don't think they would be just making a, you know, like a map like this in Paint. I mean, they could have done something like this, but usually I think they would have a different process of creation, so to say. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you all did enjoy. I hope you're all excited for the 26th. I know I'm excited for the 26th, and I'll see you all, guys, the next time. Bye-bye.